I read the first page on any book, and that's what grabs me to keep on going or not. Okay? So, in Royal Spirits, would you like to read the first page, Meet the Spirit? I just love it. It just gets you all started on it.
Crack on, mate. Get a bloody move on. Shut those yappers up we don't have all day. Shut it. They'll be quiet as the grave soon enough. My heart beats fast and loud. My palms sweat. I can hear the men arguing, all the more frightening for the anger and evil in their quiet whispers. I know something horrific is happening and run to see what the problem is. A small golden-haired puppy is picked up by a large gloved hand, no bigger than a child's football. He slips free only to be roughly captured again. He yelps in pain, then silence. Others are crying in fear, some bark in anger. I keep running, getting no closer. I feel the slippery stones beneath my feet. My chest tightens. I'm cold with fear. Hot tears run down my face. One by one, the puppies are silenced. No, I cry, out, no. They don't stop. The puppies are silent. I shiver uncontrollably, bury my head in my wet pillow.
Now, I'm sure everybody wants to know, like, what happens at the next page. We're not going to tell anyone. The only way to find out is to go into the book.
Yes.
Or where can you get the book?
On Amazon.
On Amazon.com.
Yes.
You have an email address?
Yes.
Okay, and so if someone wants to know where to be able to get the book, how they get hold of it?
Oh, it's
besides Amazon.com.
It's my last name, Crepeau.
Crepeau. How do you spell it out?
Crepeau.
Okay.
4551 at Comcast.net.
Okay, now everybody knows that.
That'd be great.
Okay, so where do you find the poetic, rhythmic element that has become part of your mystery series?
I was born with it.
I like that.
a wee bit of the gab.
Uh-huh.
You know, I believe a lot comes from our ancestors.
We did.
Yeah.
And the reason I asked that, because Royal Spirit, we'll have one more page read, and this is it. On page 19, just one page of the interlude will get everyone wanting to read Royal Spirits.
The firelight drew giant shadows as the air stilled. Beneath the stones that stand guard north of the small town of Adamsbury in Salisbury Plain, sound of neither voice nor wing could be heard as the eldest, untouched among us, opened the gold-lined wooden case that held the prophecy. Over 100 strong, we held our breath. Dare we hope we will be saved? The Queen promised a way to rescue us. It is too late for our parents. Will help come before it is too late for us? Amen read the words to bring comfort and hope. When the darkness swells to encompass all that lies before it, one who is not of our land, but of royal blood, will come to learn, to battle, to stop the evil from spreading throughout the world. Hey, this is good news, Cassandra. Don't cry. Q-tip, do you think there's hope? We must all have hope, for without it, we're lost.
Thank you very much. What got you to write the very first one?
Well, when I went over to Ireland, my parents lived in a 10-by-10 stone cottage with 8 children. And I saw it. I was able to walk into it. There was a cow in there now, but I was able to walk into it. And when I walked into it, I just felt that I have to tell about what our ancestors have given us, how their struggles have impacted our lives. Pardon me. I can still remember going in there. And so I came home, and I wrote down about our values, about our history, and I mean, our parents, those of us that, have parents that are immigrants, they came here with nothing. They knew no one. They came here on a prayer that it would be a better life. And they struggled and they made it. Most of them made it. And so I put this book together. And this was a book of our values and our livelihood. And I read it and I thought, okay, the kids will read it when they're 70. It's boring. So that's when I asked their help and put the other leprechauns and whatnot into it. Basically, I wanted something to pass down to my kids that they would appreciate and enjoy.
Why did you decide to self-publish?
I didn't think I was good enough to a publisher. And I wanted to get it. I wanted to get it out there. I really, after I wrote Brooklyn, I had a friend of many years. I said, how did you like it? And after she read it, she said, well, you made a mistake on page 20. Now, too many commas and a run-on sentence. And I thought, okay, that's it. I'll never write again. And my husband and I make jewelry, and we sell it at fairs. And I had a couple of books, because when I self-published, I bought a whole bunch. And I had them out for display, and I embarrassingly had them out for display because I knew I had a mistake in them. And this woman comes up to me, and she said, did you write this book? And I said, yes. And I was hoping that, the earth would open up and I would crawl under it before she started telling me she found a mistake. And she said, what are you doing here? Get home and keep writing. And I never knew who that lady was, or I didn't know her name. I knew she was a middle school teacher, and she just encouraged me to keep writing. She's just an angel. She just encouraged me to keep writing.
Well, let me tell you something about self-publishing. I encourage self-publishing.
Oh.
Okay? Self-publishing means you're no longer in the hands of a publishing company dictating what is the book cover going to be like, what's going to be cut off from your book, and so on and so on. You are in charge of your book. I am a great promoter of self-publishing.
Oh, I am now also.
Okay.
I also am. Because I sold over 6,000 copies of my books.
So you sold 6,000 copies.
Yep.
And my book, the Scoliosis book, just got printed in Japan by a Japanese printing company. It was on Amazon.com, selling very well in English, picked up, and it's selling in Japanese now.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
That's great.
So, hooray for self-publishing.
Yes,
okay?
Definitely.
When do you know the book is ready for publishing?
With my first book, I paid 2 editors to make sure it was perfect. I paid $800 to these 2 editors to make sure it was perfect. Still wasn't perfect.
No.
With my second book, I've found some wonderful friends that just love editing. And that's their goal in life. They love to edit, and they do a wonderful job. And when they say it's okay, that it's done, it's done. I know when the story is done, but I want to make sure it's perfect. I have a new book coming out in a couple of weeks, and I'm in the process of correcting the corrections they gave me to make. And it's a totally different book of anything I've ever written before. It's a book that I had to write. Something I didn't want to write, but something I had to write. And it's been very difficult for me to write.
What's the name of the book?
It's Turn Back Time.
Turn Back Time. When is it coming out?
It'll probably be out in about 3 weeks.
Is it a series with the Keep New England Weird, or is this a total new?
Totally, something
Can
totally
you give us
new.
a little bit of a tidbit about it?
Well, there's, one of the characters, actually, that you'll find in this book gets called on to find a senator's daughter who's missing. They're afraid that she may be in a cult. So Allie is asked to go and find the senator's daughter, make sure she's okay. In the meantime, Tom, who is a computer expert, is working for the Computer Intelligence Service and part of Homeland Security. And he's uncovering some weather discrepancies that do not look right. And they both join together, and it's a possibility of war. So that's about it.
Okay,
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. But this is fiction?
Yes, this is fiction, I hope.
Okay.
Yes.
It sounds pretty heavy, yeah.
It was very heavy for me. Very heavy for me to write.
How did that come to you?
It came to me when I was about 19.
Oh, when you were 19?
Yes. I didn't know what the problem was going to be because the buildings weren't destroyed, but I knew we were at war. And I didn't know what it was going to be until I was sitting with my husband watching the military channel, and he said, oh, that's EMP warfare. And I said, what's EMP? And he said, the electromagnetic pulse, where they strike us, where every cell, every electric power, everything gets knocked out. So we have no way to communicate, no way to travel, no way to get food. Yes. So it's totally different for me.
Right,
Yes.
right. Awesome. What a creative mind you have. That is
Thank you.
totally cool. We talked a little bit about Keep New England Weird.
Yes, that's
and
it.
there's going to be another one on this series.
Yes.
Okay. And you told me before what your dream is. Let's reinforce that. What is your dream?
To see the Brooklyn Leprechaun on the big screen.
The Brooklyn
Leprechaun.
Yes. On the big screen.
That's it. By J.J. Abrams.
Okay. And the other thing is, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with your audience and the viewers out there?
I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and to be able to be in a country where I can write and express my feelings and my thoughts and my values and say whatever I want to say. We're so blessed and so lucky.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes, we are. It's been a pleasure having you
Thank
here
you so
today.
much. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Until the next Authors Forum, have a most inspiring week.
Thank you.